guys, it's Heather from Strings and Threads. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Hippie Headband, and it is 40 inches long. This one is not as wide. This was my prototype, and when I was done I was not happy with how wide it was. I wanted something that was wider. I was thinking of something that really kind of goes around your head. This ties behind your head. This is how this works. But this is going to be the same stitch. It's just we're going to make it wider than my prototype here. So what I'm using is a size H 5mm hook. You'll want some kind of cotton yarn. So I'm going to use the cotton cakes and probably a pair of scissors. To start, we are going to chain. Now this is going to be a nice 2-row repeat once we get into it. The first couple rows were just going to be our starter rows. We're going to chain 22. So let's chain 22, pause it, and then come back once you have 22. Here's 22 chains. In the third chain from the hook, sorry, I need to fix that. We're going to put a double crochet, 1, 2, 3. And you're going to put 1 double crochet in each chain across. We should end up with 20. So let's pause here, get our 20, and then come back. For the next round, we're going to chain 2. Put a double crochet into the first stitch, chain 1, skip 1, put a double crochet in the following stitch. This is going to be the pattern all the way across. So you could see that now. I'll chain 1, skip the next one, go to the next one, put a double crochet. I'll do one more with you and then we'll pause and finish the row. Chain 1, skip the next one, go to the next one. All right, do this all the way across. When you get to the last stitch, you're just going to put a double crochet into the last stitch. We're not going to skip it. Okay, so here we're going to chain 2. This is going to count as, actually let's chain 3. This is going to count as a double crochet in the next row. We're going to do a cluster into the chain space. So here's how we work that. We go in as if we're doing a double crochet, pull it through, go through 2 of the stitches. Now you have 2 loops on your chain, on your hook. Yarn over, go through a second time, pull up, go through just 2 of the stitches. You'll end up with 3 stitches on your hook. Yarn over, go through one last time, a third time. So we're going to do it 3 times. Go through 2. And now you should have 4 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over and go through all 4. So here's how that cluster works. And then chain 1. We'll do the cluster again one more time, but we're going to do a cluster in every chain space across. So you yarn over as if you're doing a double crochet, but only go through once, only go through 2. Now you have 2 loops on there. Yarn over, pull up another loop, go through 2. Now you have 3 on the hook. Yarn over, and this is the third time. This is the last time. Go through 2, and now you should have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, go through all 4. And then chain 1. So that's the pattern. The pattern will be cluster, chain 1, cluster, chain 1. And so the clusters will go in the spaces all the way across. Meet me when you get to the end. When we get to the very end here, and you've done a cluster in the last space, you chain 1 and put a double crochet into the chain from the row below. So you end with that. Now we'll turn and chain 3, This will count as a stitch. Do a double crochet into the space between your last double crochet and cluster. And then you're going to chain one, do a double crochet in between, in the chain space, in between the two clusters. Chain one, double crochet in between the clusters. Let's do that across and then come back. I'm at the end here and I'm going to chain one and then put a double crochet into the chain three space. The third chain of that chain three that we did in the row before. So you're going to end every row with a double crochet and start every row with a chain three, which will count. So it's almost like it has that border, that double crochet border that will go all the way up. I'll go through the pattern one more time. We're going to just repeat those two rows of double crochet, chain one, double crochet, chain one, and then putting a cluster in the space. Chain one, cluster, chain one, cluster, all the way across. So that's the pattern. We did the double crochet chain row one, so now we'll chain three. 1, 2, 3, and you're going to put a cluster in every space between the double crochets. So again, the cluster goes if you're doing a double crochet, but only go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yeah, and then yarn over and go through all of them, and then chain one. So follow that pattern across with the cluster in each of the spaces, end with a double crochet in the third chain from your chain three. So now you turn and we just start the pattern over again, chain three, and then put a double crochet in each chain space. And we're going to continue repeating those 2 rows until it's 40 inches or your desired length. If you'd like to make it shorter and then just tie it together, you can. What I had intended was just so that you can tie it tight, is just that it's long enough that you can tie it tight to your head and then put a double knot in the back. And I wore this yesterday and it stayed nicely. It was perfect. I think I've done headbands with acrylic yarn before and other types of yarns that don't hold as well, but these cotton cakes, this was the perfect thing to make the headband out of, because it held that knot and it stayed tight to my head and I didn't have to adjust it once the entire day. So go ahead and work this up. We'll come back once it's long enough, either 40 inches or your desired length. All right, I have it finished and I wanted to show you that at the end, you want to end with the double crochet, chain one, double crochet, chain one, and then in the very last row, you want to put a double crochet into each double crochet and chain space. I think I did it here. Yeah. The other one was the starting. I couldn't remember which side was the starting. So there was one in each double crochet, one in the chain space, one in the double crochet, one in the chain space. It just gives it a nice edge at the bottom. So let me turn it around and show you how it looks. All right, here's how the hippie headband turned out. I hope you like this. If you do like this, please check out my other tutorials and subscribe to stay up to date on all that's going on with strings and threads. Have a great day. Bye.